Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden and welcome to day 25 of my 30-day garden transformation challenge. I started off this morning, as I do every morning these days, with my daily routine. 5 easy tasks that I can do every single day just to make sure that I'm staying on top of those little things in my garden that tend to get overwhelming after a period of time. So the first thing that I did for my daily routine was deadheading. I have been meaning to deadhead this grouping of Nepeta for quite a while now, and so I decided to finally tackle it today. This is Cat's Pajamas Nepeta. No, excuse me. This is Cat's Meow Nepeta, not Cat's Pajamas Nepeta. Cat's Meow Nepeta is from Proven Winners, and it's kind of a bigger version compared to Cat's Pajamas. It's really beautiful. It does still need to be cut back like all other Nepetas for it to continue flushing throughout the season. This grouping, I am late. I should have cut this back a while ago, but I just didn't get around to it. This is actually right over by my plant stash, and actually Sadie was watering my plant stash and I forgot to get video of it again. So that was another task. That's another thing that's on my daily routine as well. And Sadie has been helping me out so much this month. She's trying to earn some money for her car, if you can believe it. My goodness, she is 13. She's not even 13. She'll be 13 next month. And the kid is already saving up for her car. And I just love that for her. How on top of it is she? It's amazing. Anyway, so back to my deadheading. I just had this feeling this morning that I needed to zone out. I needed to let my brain go on autopilot. I needed to be mindful. I needed to meditate a little bit. And that's one of the things that I absolutely love about gardening. You can kind of make gardening what you need it to be for the day. If you need it to be exciting and interesting, and you can think about, plans that you want to do for the garden and different plants that you want to go buy and different projects that you want to do, you can make it really fun and really exciting. Or if you need more of a calm, more of a peaceful day, you can focus on the more mundane tasks like weeding or like deadheading, or I don't know, there's so many things that you can do in your garden, and you can just let your brain relax. And there's times that I just like letting my brain relax. And this was one of those days. So I just set the camera up and I decided not to rush through anything, just take my time with my garden tasks today. I have my daily routine, which is 5 tasks, and then I have my focus garden task. And I just really wanted them to be easy, almost meditative today. So I went through and I finished deadheading this Nepeta. It looks so much better. This view was from behind it, and here's a view from in front of it, and it just looks nice and neat and ready for another flush of blooms in August, which I think will be absolutely beautiful. I have to say, Nepeta it has become one of my favorite plants in the garden because it's so easy to take care of. It can handle the heat, and I think it just smells absolutely fabulous. So when I was out here working on deadheading this, it really made a huge difference for my mind just to relax, smell the Nepeta, and let my hands do what they need to do. So after the watering and the deadheading, I decided to turn my attention onto weeding, and I came up to the center island just behind the gazebo, and isn't this view gorgeous? I love it. I was enjoying myself so much, just kind of relaxing in this area. Now, unfortunately, this area along my dry creek bed has quite a bit of bindweed this year, a lot of bindweed this year. It's been very frustrating, but I've just been slowly approaching it and slowly tackling it one weed at a time. And I think, knock on wood, I think I'm making a dent in it. And my goal is just to continue taking care of it so it gets weaker and weaker. I'm always going to have weeds in my garden. I have ag fields all surrounding my garden. So if any of my neighbors let their weeds go to seed, it's going to blow into my garden and I'm going to have weeds. So it's just one of those cyclical garden tasks or cyclical chores like laundry or dishes that you kind of just always have to do. So I really wanted to almost zone out with weeding, and weeding is one of my favorite tasks to zone out to. It To me, I can just really let my brain relax and think about whatever it wants to think about when I'm weeding, because it's just so mundane, right? And I mean that in a really positive way. It's such a mundane task, and so much of what we do during the day takes a lot of brain power and a lot of thinking and a lot of, organizing things and coordinating things and figuring things out, which is great, but sometimes it's nice to let your brain just chill, and that's where weeding comes in for me. So I really just took some time and focused on weed by weed and really worked on this area and getting some of the weeds removed, and I actually got a big dent done today in not a very long period of time. I think I was probably out here for 20 minutes or something like that. And it was really, really nice. It was a great way to spend a morning. It was still cool. The sun hadn't really come up yet. And it was just a really nice thing to do, and just reminds me of why I love gardening so much. After that, I moved back to my chicken coop to focus on some planting for the day. I had my heuchera. This is paprika heuchera, which is kind of like an orangey red color. And I decided to plant it back here in this chicken coop garden bed. And I have to say, you guys, I am loving how this garden bed is turning out. It's right underneath my Chinese pistache tree, so it does have some dappled shade. You can kind of see it right how it is now. This is pretty much how it is all day long, and it is such prime planting area for so many shade plants that I don't have a lot of spaces to plant in other places in my garden yet. I have a lot of trees in my garden that are maturing, and as time goes on, I'm going to have more shade areas, but for now I don't have a ton of shade areas. So I am really enjoying this garden bed, and I'm enjoying how organic it's coming along. I am not planning this garden bed. I'm just kind of looking at it and thinking, oh, it needs some silvery foliage with the Helen von Stein lambs ear. Oh, it needs some red foliage with the heuchera, that lilac, that big lilac in the background. I'm actually going to move that, and then I'm going to put in a Japanese maple back there. And I was looking at the Japanese maples at the garden center yesterday. I'm just really, really enjoying this garden bed. It's become really fun to kind of decide what I want to put in here next, and I have no idea how it's going to turn out, which is just really great. It's like the definition of an organic garden bed, an organically developed garden bed, which I think is really fun. So I used the starter fertilizer. I used EB Stone starter fertilizer to plant these, and then I watered it all in, and then I moved on to my next task for my daily routine, which is fertilizing. I decided to fertilize this camellia today over by the bunny cages. So this is the bunny's outside area, and then if you see that hole in the wall right there, they can go in and out of that hole, which actually used to be a dryer vent. In the garage is where the original kitchen was for this house, which is really, really interesting. The part that we live in is an add-on to the house, and the garage used to be the whole entire house. It was a very small house. I can't wrap my brain around it. So anyway, that's where the laundry room used to be and the kitchen used to be, and that's where the bunny's indoor area is, and then they can come out to their outdoor area kind of as they see fit. So I got this camellia from my friend Roberta Walker. She is designing a property in Sacramento, and they were taking out a ton of plants like my podocarpus that I have and a bunch of boxwood, and they took out this camellia. So I don't exactly know what variety of camellia this is. It has pink blooms. It's a Camellia japonica, and I'm assuming it's a debutante camellia because debutante camellias are pretty common around here, and it kind of looks like the bloom of a debutante camellia. Regardless, after it blooms in the winter, early spring, really more winter, I would say, you want to fertilize your camellias after they're done blooming with an acidic fertilizer. And I especially need an acidic fertilizer for my camellias because of my water. We have well water, and we have a bunch of boron in our well water, and that camellias don't like that. So they definitely need fertilizer. I am late in fertilizing this guy, but at least I got to it. So I gave it a good dose of acidic fertilizer. And then when I was hanging out here, I noticed that there was a bunch of leaves and debris that had accumulated around the bunny cages. And so I decided for my daily focus garden task, I was just going to do some cleanup. Side note, real quick, if you look in the background, you can see Oreo, one of our barn cats. Oreo is by far my favorite one. He is the most friendly one. He actually lets me pet him. He'll actually come inside a little bit if I'm getting him a treat. He'll try and walk inside the house, and it's just the cutest thing. And in the mornings, he'll actually hang out with me a little bit. He doesn't really like Monty, but if Monty's away, away, he'll hang out with me and he'll let me walk around him, and he doesn't kind of get up and run away or move anywhere like the other barn cats do, but he's so sweet. So he's definitely a night owl. He's up at night. If I wake up in the middle of the night, I see him walking around and hunting and all that kind of stuff. And then right around this time of day, he climbs up to the top of the roof and he takes his nap, and he takes an all-day nap. I see him underneath the eaves. I see him sleeping all day, and I just think it's the cutest thing. It's so nice having him around. So back to my focus garden task, I took a page out of Michael Glassman's notebook. My friend Michael does not use a leaf blower, or he tries not to use a leaf blower, and he actually vacuums his backyard. He actually has a vacuum that he runs over his synthetic lawn to kind of fluff it up and clean it up, and then vacuums all around his outdoor patio furniture. And I used to make fun of him for it. I used to laugh and just think it was the funniest thing. But then I realized he's actually on to something. But when I use a leaf blower, I'm basically taking all the leaves and all the debris and all the dust and actually blowing it from one part of my garden to another part of my garden. And when I use my shop vac, a vacuum like Michael does, it's just taking it all away, and then I can toss it into a green waste bin. So Michael, I'm sorry for making fun of you for vacuuming your garden. You are definitely on to something. And again, this was another really great mundane, no thought task that I could do today and just kind of clean up a little bit. So I cleaned up back by the bunny cage, and then I took the shop back to the front and decided to clean up my front porch area. I have to say, my front porch is looking so much better. It's still a work in progress. I think that we need to do a really big renovation one day on this area and fix those curved stairs that I have. But just having the Haddonstone Heritage planters up here and those gorgeous wrought iron topiaries that I do have some ivy planted underneath there, so eventually those are going to be covered with ivy. I think this is looking so much better. Really, really beautiful. So I brought the shop vac up and I just kind of cleaned up the whole area, cleaned up all the flowers that had dropped, cleaned up all the dust and the debris and the leaves and all that kind of stuff, just to make my entryway a little bit cleaner and a little nicer. And then even I tackled the spider webs, the cobwebs that were all over my hanging light, my chandelier that I have up here. And I have to say, I love the chandelier. I feel like I made a really good decision. I decided not to get a glass chandelier for outside because I knew it was going to get really, really dirty. And so this one's perfect. It's open. It's really easy for me to get in there and to vacuum and to clean up all the dust and grime and debris that accumulates outdoors. After cleaning up my front porch area, I decided to tackle my star jasmine espalier a little bit. I've already done my big training and pruning for the season, so this is just really just kind of touching it up just because I'm getting a little bit of new growth and I just want to keep it in control, tidy, not too much overgrown. So I just quickly went through. This took me, 10 minutes or something like that to quickly go through and then just cut off the really long pieces that have grown into the diamonds, and I'm just keeping it neat, keeping it clean, keeping it looking like an espalier and not just one wall completely covered with star jasmine. This is another one of those mundane tasks. I should really stop saying mundane. That's not the right word. This is a relaxing task that I can just kind of zone out to when I do something like this. Probably my favorite thing in the garden is training vines up a trellis. That's probably my absolute hands down favorite thing to do, and just to kind of zone out. But cutting back my espalier is definitely one of my favorite things as well. Now, I had to go grab a step stool so that I could reach up top, but as I was going up here, I noticed that there was a lot of wasps flying around me, and I realized there was another wasp nest up here, which is so frustrating because there was just a wasp nest in my backyard behind my office, and our pest control guy just came. I have a feeling he sprayed this wasp nest because the wasps weren't moving very quickly. None of them bit me or anything like that, but it was still frustrating that there was another one. So I stopped this task and I decided to do one last thing for my focus garden task cleanup day, which was clean up all the dust and debris and the weeds that were at the base of my zigzag planter. Now, normally in my zigzag planter, I plant trailing plants, and that kind of blocks this area so you can't really see all this debris, but I didn't plant trailing plants this year, and I think this is a good reminder. If we don't renovate this next year, I'm going to plant trailing plants so that I don't have to worry about everything accumulating here. Another thing that I need to do, that I keep reminding myself and forgetting, is I need to get some type of pre-emergent that I can sprinkle into the cracks that are right along the base of my zigzag planter so that I don't get weeds here in this area anymore. But that's okay. It's really, really easy to pull these weeds. They are not rooted in at all. It's a piece of cake. I just have to go through and I have to work on it. So this was the last thing I did. It started to get a little bit warm, so I brought out my garden umbrella and just went along and took my time and used my dustpan to kind of clean everything up. I decided not to use my vacuum, or I should say I didn't use my vacuum because it wouldn't reach and I didn't want to bother going to get an extension cord. So it was just as easy to use my dustpan and this little broom. So I spent another probably 20 minutes cleaning up this area, and it ended up looking really good after I was done. And I have to say, I think that working out in the garden today accomplished two goals. Not only did I get a lot of stuff cleaned, I got some things planted, I weeded, I deadheaded, I vacuumed, I did all the things that I needed to do, but it also gave me a couple hours of just letting my brain rest. Again, meditating. I was just relaxing out in my garden, and I really enjoy that. And some days I've been working so hard, talking a lot, thinking about a lot of things that are going on, coordinating things. Some days it's just nice to get out in the garden and just zone out. So I want to encourage all of you, if you need that, get out in your garden and pull some weeds. Just zone out and let your brain rest. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.